Hi guys, welcome to Oosthaven's Music. My name is Alex Kitchener. I'm accompanied today by Tom Mariba and we're here with his YouTube channel, Beautiful Guitars. Tom, please tell us a bit more about yourself.
No, I just started with my YouTube channel, Beautiful Guitars. I've just uploaded the 5th video just this morning. So here we'll be looking at the Gretsch G5220 that I bought from Oosthaven Guitars in Casino Gold, and Alex was the one who showed me that it was a very good guitar. Indeed, I found out through the internet that it's one of the most underrated guitar in its price points.
Yeah, no, this is an awesome guitar. I actually know Tom for a few years. He's bought several guitars from us, from Squire, Fender, Epiphones, Gretsch's, many guitars that he's bought from us. He's been a very good customer to us, and we're just glad to have you here today. So yeah, let's just jump into the specs of the guitar. Like Tom said, this is the Gretsch G5220. This is in Casino Gold, which is a beautiful color. If you'll see here, it's got more of like a sparkle kind of gold. I don't know if you can see it on the video, and then here at the back, it's got mahogany, got a mahogany back and sides, which is very beautiful. I really love the look of this guitar. Like I said, so the woods that they were using on this guitar, it's a chambered mahogany body. So it's going to be slightly lighter than something like a Les Paul that this will be compared to generally. For the top, they're using laminated maple just to bring out some brightness, which sounds very good. One of the things that people usually get intimidated by, like in Gretsch guitars, would be their knob configuration, because you're looking at like all these knobs and they're like, what are we doing with these knobs? So how this whole configuration works is you've got over here, you'll see you've got the master volume. Then over here, you've got the neck volume and the bridge volume, and then you have the master tone. So what's cool about that is you can set a pickup balance if you're in the middle position. You could set up your pickup balance between the two volumes, and then you have a general master volume to just turn it down. And which is very cool about this guitar specifically, they've got a treble bleed circuit in. So with other guitars, generally, once you start to roll down the volume, you start to lose top end and treble and that kind of stuff. But with a treble bleed circuit, you're going to retain that tone as you go down in volume, which is a very cool feature that I really love about this guitar. The neck feels very good. It's a thin U-shaped neck, and they've got a urethane gloss finish on it to make it feel a bit more comfortable and give you a bit more grip, which I really like about the guitar. And which is also something, just before I forget, the cool thing about Gretsch guitars is they've got these unique strap pins, which actually roll off like this, which is quite easy. So you don't need to buy like strap locks for the guitar. If you prefer a certain kind of strap lock, then that's fine. You can also just modify the guitar and put that on, but this is for me a very cool feature to just keep your guitar secure, because you know it's very common for a guitar to fall off while you're playing, and that will definitely ruin your night. But yeah, let me just quickly, before we start looking at the sounds of the guitar, I just want to talk about the signal flow and the gear that we're using here today. So we're going straight from the guitar into a Boss Blues driver. I chose that pedal just because it's a very common and popular pedal in South Africa. A lot of very famous guitar players in South Africa, like Nathan Smith and Wynand Dalport and lots of other people have been using blues drivers for years. It's just got an amazing sound. So if you're watching this video, you probably already have that pedal, which is good. And then we're just going straight into a Fender Hot Rod Deluxe, which is also a very common amp in South Africa. Most production companies will have this in their backline. So we decided to go with this amp because that's probably what you'll be playing through if you're on a main stage or something like that.
Quite right.
Yes. So yeah, let's just jump into some of the sounds. So here is the clean. This is clean on the bridge pickup. Cool. Now we're going to the middle position. and then lastly the neck pickup. Such an amazing sounding guitar. I love how you can play almost like these acoustic kind of chords and you still have very good clarity, and it's got so much vibe to it. You know what I mean? It's a very, 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 very cool guitar. So let's just quickly have a listen to the drive. Okay, so again, we'll be starting on the bridge pickup. Cool, now the middle position. And lastly, the neck pickup. Awesome. I just really love these pickups, you know, how they sound, like how they keep their clarity and the definition of the notes, even when you're going into an overdrive kind of thing. It's one of the things that I love the most about this guitar. Yeah, you actually told me a very interesting story when we were talking about doing this video a week or two ago. You told me about how Gretsch actually started. They had the first humbuckers before Gibson, but Gibson were the people that went to the patent license first. Sorry, could you tell us that story?
Yeah,
I think that was so interesting.
I think with Gretsch, I think that Chet Atkins as the main guitarist was supporting it, and he was always complaining about the single coil that was using, like a Dynasonics was the common one Gretsch was using at the time. That however, it's making a lot of noise, so can't Ray Batts, who was the pickup manufacturer, that he needs to look at to reducing noise. That's when Gretsch came out with their Filtertrons, which we'll see later on. So the Gretsch came with the Filtertrons first, before Set Lava came with the PAF in with the Gibson. But however, Gibson were the first to patent their pickup first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's very interesting. I didn't know that until you actually told me. Yo, now while we're still on the pickups now, we were talking a bit about these are actually the blacktop Broadtron pickups, and then on the higher end Gretches that you get, you'll be looking at the Filtertron pickups. And I actually had this guitar now for a week. I was blessed enough to play it at my church and just test it a bit in the field and see how it did in a mix and that kind of stuff. And I was very happy with this guitar. I felt the sound that it gave it's very much if a Gibson and a Fender had a baby, if that makes sense, because it sounds like a telly, but it's got a bit more girth to it, a bit more fatness to it, but it also doesn't quite sound like a Les Paul because it's got more spank and more twanginess and that kind of stuff. So it's like, that's what I think makes Gretsch so good, is that classic Chime Gretsch sound.
Yes.
So the Gretsch guitars are fantastic for blues, country music, old school rockabilly, worship music, more that kind of stuff, where if you're comparing it to a Les Paul is going to be more like your rock and roll guitar, you know, you're going to be playing your Les Paul in your Metallica cover band, you know what I mean? And that's the thing, people usually compare this, they'll say this is a Les Paul, but this is not a Les Paul at all. This is a Jet. This is a Pro Jet style guitar that Gretsch does. It is not the same as a Les Paul. Because this has a chambered body, it is a lot lighter than a Gibson can be. And the weights do vary and stuff, but generally if I've played a Les Paul during the night, like I'm halfway through the set and my shoulder is dying because I'm a little guy. So for someone like me, I'd like to play a Gretsch more because I'm actually coming from a Fender background, I usually play Strats and Tellys and Jazzmasters and that kind of stuff. So this felt a bit more at home for me, but also something else, a different flavor that I really enjoyed in a guitar. Yeah, the other thing is like we spoke about, what I've generally seen with Les Pauls. If you do not have a sound engineer that's awake, it can easily get lost in the mix, you know, with the high gain and that kind of stuff. Whereas a Gretsch, because it's almost got because the Filtertron style pickups have a bit more of a twanginess, a bit more of a distinct, almost single coil kind of sound, almost a single coil kind of sound to it. It's easier to pick it up in a mix, and it's just gonna sound cool. And I mean, look at this guitar. You're gonna be looking like a rock star with like a sparkle gold like this. I'd love to get me one of these guitars actually sometime. And then also comparing to the Filtertron pickups actually, because these are a lot cheaper than the proper Filtertron pickups. These are again the black top Broadtron pickups. I was actually quite happy with these pickups. I've seen people talk about reviews and say, yeah, I need the Filtertron pickups. They bring more clarity and that kind of stuff. But in my humble opinion, these pickups sound amazing. I love this guitar, actually. I think one of the only things that I would change about this guitar is if I bought it, is I would put in locking tuners for tuning stability, just because that's something that's very important to me. You don't want to be tuning between every single song. You want to be enjoying the gig and like focusing on what's important for you. So Doctor, in conclusion, what do you feel, what would you say, what would you rank this guitar if I had to give you like a 10 out of 10? 10 being your American quality Gibson or Fender or that stuff. Where would you rank this on a scale to 10?
I'll give it around an 8. It's a very incredible, as you played earlier on. It's incredible sound, both clean and dirty sounds were very incredible. Yeah. Like you said, when you've got a guitar and you're playing many songs, you want to have a tuning stability. So I'll agree that most people will need either to tune the guitar every song, or better still, you can have a good locking tuners for stability, so that you don't have to worry about tuning stability while you're playing in a band or in your a setting.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would also give this guitar 8, even maybe an 8.5. This is really a fantastic guitar at this price point. This is a very affordable guitar that does not stand back for an American quality instrument like a Gibson or a Fender. Yeah, I'm actually planning on maybe getting myself one after we did this video. It really made me fall in love with Gretsch actually, and it was such a pleasure to have you here at Westalven's Music. You guys can just a bit about Westalven's Music. We're a music, instruments and pro audio store located here in Pretoria. But anywhere in South Africa, we do have an online store, so we can service you in any way. If you guys need any guitars, cables, strings, PA, we can help you out with that kind of stuff. So just go to our website, westalvensmusic.co.za, or you can just phone one of our branches. That would be, the Montana branch would be 012-548-5912. And then our Menlyn branch's number is 012-991-1804. And please, if we're going to be doing a bunch of these videos in the future, so go follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. Our handle is Westalvens_music. And what's your YouTube channel? Beautiful Guitars.
Beautiful Guitars. And we'll also put all the link on the description of this video. Okay. Where you can get Westalven and all the material that we used in this video.
Awesome. Thank you guys, and have an awesome weekend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.